All right, what is up, Utes fans? We have a special Thursday night edition of our weekly live stream football chat. Welcome back, guys. Excited to be here. As you guys watch the video, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and join the chat. Really fun to have all you guys here. I see a couple people already in here. Make sure you guys jump in the chat and say hi. Excited to see who's all here tonight. And yeah, glad to be back, guys. I remember last week. I don't know if you guys remember, but I said I was shopping for a car, and I wound up getting a car. I decided to wear my Utah Utes polo today. Pretty fresh, pretty cool polos. Probably one of my favorites here. But yeah, if you guys don't remember last week, I was talking about how I was shopping for a car. I wound up getting a car Monday night. Um, and that was pretty awesome. It was really busy. So I live out here in Spanish Fork. I had to drive all the way to South Salt Lake, pick the guy up, or get the car, drive all the way back to Spanish Fork to drop the car off, then drive all the way back to South Salt Lake, drop the guy off there, and then drive all the way back to Spanish Fork because like the sales guy was helping me drive the car back. But anyways, yeah, I got my car. If any of you guys care. Uh, and on that note, if you guys did not see, we did get a pretty solid pickup, preferred walk-on offer from a guy named Jason Ciaosi. Big time player, right? Obviously coming out of a small school, but definitely a guy that you got to be kind of excited about. If you guys didn't watch the tape already, you should know that Jason is, a very hard hitter, a guy that really meets running backs, defenders at the line of scrimmage, if not in the backfield, and a guy that you guys should probably be pretty excited that we're picking up here. So check him out there. That's his Twitter. Make sure you guys give him a follow at Jason Ciaoc. And if you guys aren't already following the Twitter page for the Utah Utes Football Digest, make sure you do that. It's at Utah Utes Balling. So very cool. Yeah. And so Jason, he's a big time player. ICR says needs to learn to wrap up. I commented on that in the video. Jason is a really good player, and he has a lot of raw physical athleticism. But yeah, definitely could wrap up a little better. I think I commented back to you there, ICR, during the when you commented. Yeah, it's sometimes when you hit real hard but you don't wrap up, they bounce off you and wind up in a free lane as a runner, and then that run goes from a stop at the line to a 15, 20-yard game because you didn't wrap them up. So hopefully, if anyone's going to teach them how to do it, it's going to be the Utes, right? If you want to take your game as a linebacker to the next level, that they're the ones to do it. And you got to imagine that a guy like this, he's got 2 years of eligibility left. So this isn't just a 1-year guy. He's got college football experience. It's a much lower level of college football that he's used to, but still, he's got college football experience. He's out of Carlsbad, California, and looks real solid. Like I said, 2 years of eligibility left, and a guy that should hopefully this year he could make an impact as a rotational piece. But at the minimum, he's a guy that just adds more talent to this linebacker room, gives them more tools to work with. From what I was seeing, he's a guy that can be a pretty good coverage linebacker, as well as, like I said, he does hit really hard and can meet defenders at the line of scrimmage. Definitely sets the tone. Definitely a guy that I'm excited to have on the roster. Not sure what his immediate impact will be, but, either way, should be a pretty solid player overall for the Utes. All right, guys. And like I said, it's Jason Ciaosi. If you guys want to know more about him and haven't already, I made a little video on the channel kind of breaking down, his film, that sort of thing. So if you want to, feel free to check that out. But outside of that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the goings on for spring football. And as you guys come in, make sure you guys jump in the chat, say hi. I know a lot of you guys that watch don't jump in the chat, so make sure you do. It makes it a lot more fun, and I'm sure a couple of the returning guys are here, just not in the chat yet. So excited to have you guys here. Let's talk a little bit about spring football. So I'm sure you guys are watching a lot of the same articles I am, reading the same stuff. Lots going on in spring football. First article I want to talk about, let's pull it up here. Kind of one of the, the really bright young guys from last season, Cole Bishop, right? Let me put a little question on the screen here. All right. All right. Is Cole Bishop the new leader of this defense? I think that's a real question, right? I know a lot of us are really hyped about Clark Phillips. Um, but I mean, I can't imagine anyone saying that it's clear that Clark Phillips is that much better than Cole Bishop. I uh, I really think Cole Bishop looked fantastic last year. Could work a little more on the coverage, but it improved as the year went on. And the run stop ability and he lights people up. Omar, go Utes. Omar, shout out to you, man. Omar actually signed up for Yada Bank using the promo code. Omar, I saw that, man. That was awesome. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Yada Bank, the Yada app, it's a savings account where you can get a lot of interest back on your money. It makes it fun. They give you like lottery tickets and stuff. If you guys have any interest, use promo code Utah Utes. That's UTAHUTES, no spaces, Utah Utes. So Omar, thanks so much, man. That helps me out a lot, and I appreciate that, man. Good for you. But yeah, go Utes. And Omar says he already won $5. That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for using the code when you signed up. S, just S, huh? Now that's unique. Your name is just S. But go Utes. Yeah, absolutely, man. Glad to have you here. I believe this is the first time I've seen you here. Can't wait for football, baby. Yeah, me either, man. Cannot wait. It is, the NFL draft is coming up, and that should be exciting. I feel like the football season, like the off season at least, is almost set up like that. It's like there's this and there's this and there's this about a month apart just to stop you from going crazy, right? The spring football, UT Fly Fisherman. Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, absolutely. And he says, "Go Utes." I think this is the first time I've seen you in here, man. So welcome into the chat. Thanks for dropping by. And on that note, let's take a look at this article. And if you guys are watching, make sure you like the video. It gets it out to more Utes fans. I love that we're seeing new people in here, right? That's really cool. So make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. So a year ago at this time, Utah safety Cole Bishop should have still been in high school. I was not aware of that. I don't know if you guys were. He must have graduated early. The native of Peachtree City, Georgia, enrolled early last winter and went through spring practices with the Utes. I think that's when he kind of established that he might, be playing a role. I don't think you knew clearly back then, but it seemed like it could be. By the ninth game of the season against Stanford, Bishop became the starter at strong safety. And, it says by the ninth game of the season, but if you guys were watching throughout the season like I was, Cole Bishop was a role player. Cole Bishop wasn't on the sidelines. They put Cole Bishop in on third and shorts, a lot of different stuff. He wasn't just randomly coming in. I remember we were talking about Cole Bishop. I want to say we were talking about Cole Bishop against what was the team? Washington State. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember Cole Bishop in there against Washington State. And you guys in the chat, is Cole Bishop the new leader of this defense? Is he the guy? Is it him? Is it Clark Phillips? Who's the guy that's going to take the next step? No one's hitting harder than Cole Bishop. I'll give you that much. Coach Whittingham, Kyle Whittingham, says he's an outstanding player. He's just a true freshman, and he's going to be special, right? The kid does look special. When we're talking about Cole Bishop, he looks like a guy that really lays the wood. I mean, that sets the tone, guys. You can get big plays off that, force fumbles, stuff like that. But realistically, morale, right? When you rack dudes up with those hits, it can change momentum. It can flip real quick. Imagine the defense. They get a couple first downs on you. And then Cole Bishop gets a guy in the open field and just makes him wish he was, playing 3A ball, or Division III ball. And Cole Bishop just cracks him in the open field, which happened. Like, you guys remember that one that what was the penalty? It was like defenseless receiver or something like that. Or I don't think they got him for targeting. It was like defenseless receiver. But he just lit the kid up. What game was that, guys? If you guys remember, comment in the chat which game was that where Cole Bishop just like wrecked that dude over the middle. It was, it was a nice hit. It was probably a little much considering the guy was dropping the ball. But I come from the old school of football. I used to play DB, and I always felt like DB, you had this disadvantage where you had to cover the fastest guys in the field and just run with them all day, and it could be a real headache. But then you would get opportunities where it was just one on one, and you would just crack a receiver or a running back or something like that as they caught the ball. I felt like that was the trade off with DB. It was like you knew once every other week or so, someone was going to catch you, they'd burn you downfield, and it was over. Yeah, like those moments would happen for almost any DB, right? But you would get the upside of being able to just light someone up once or twice a game. Because if you were a fast, hard hitting DB, you could really crack some guys. All right, and Utah fan for life. Okay, is this the same guy that was S? Did you change your name? Because S is still here. I don't know if that's you. Let me know if that's still you. But Cole Bishop is a dog, and Clark Phillips is a dog too. Yeah, absolutely, man. Two big time dogs, and so young, right? You got to be excited for the ceiling of these two kids. I think Clark Phillips, obviously, a little more valuable in the NFL eyes, probably because of the coverage ability. But I mean, when we're talking about a leader of the defense, like a guy that sets the tone, gets everybody amped up, I can't imagine that it's not Cole Bishop, right? I don't know. Maybe he's a soft-spoken guy, but the way he plays out there, he looks like he wants to, make his presence known. Omar, he has a huge upside. I'm excited to see what he can do. He will definitely be one of the leaders on the team. Absolutely, right? I don't know if he'll be the leader of this defense. I wouldn't be shocked if he was. I think there's a lot of hype around Clark Phillips and a surprisingly small amount of hype around Cole Bishop. But it feels like it's starting to grow. It feels like as they do spring ball, get a little more into it, they're getting to see him do some reps, right? They're getting to see a little more about him. So I think they're remembering just how much of a playmaker that kid was. Utah fan for life. You said, yeah, about you used to be S and you changed your name. Gonna miss Lloyd, but I'm stoked to see these guys step up. Got some real dogs in the locker room. Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget about Van Fillinger, a bunch of young linebackers. I mean, this defense, I think, is going to be good this year and hopefully surprisingly good, right? Hopefully they're better than even I'm expecting them to be. But I think like next year, the 2023 season, oh man, if we retain Clark Phillips and Cole Bishop, Fillinger takes a step, Landon Barton takes a step, Carson Tabaracci takes a step. I mean, think about all these guys, right? Hayden Fury takes a step. So many young, talented players on this defense that this could be such a sick squad in 2023. Definitely 2022 as well. I'm not saying they're going to be a disappointment next year, but imagine they start to shine a little next year and look pretty good at times, and solid at others. It's like once they get another year, it's going to be a nightmare for opposing offenses. Boom. Also, our running back played some solid D at the Rose Bowl. We got a bunch of dogs. Yeah, he's talking about Mekhi Bernard. Yeah, he did. He actually looked good at times. There were times where I don't know if there was confusion with signal calling or what, but there were times where they had it was zone, but you guys know how a zone works. Sometimes in a zone, you wind up in almost a man situation. Even though it's a zone, you wind up right across from a receiver one-on-one. If he's going deep to your side, you're basically just manned up, right? And there were times where Mekhi Bernard, as much as he was just filling in, he was going one-on-one basically with Jackson Smith-Njigba. It was zone, but zone puts you in matchups sometimes. And I think that was a really big mistake. And I think, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? Maybe there was mix-ups, confusion. I mean, Mekhi had never played corner for the Utes before. And then ICR says, I think Van Fillinger is the new leader. I don't know about that. ICR, Van Fillinger, I like him a lot, right? I think he has a lot of upside and a lot of potential down the line. But I don't think there was ever a point last year where it felt like he was really a playmaker. Where it felt like with Cole Bishop and Clark Phillips, there were points last year where they were really playmakers. But I would agree with you, ICR, from everything I've heard from the offseason, is that Van Fillinger does look really good and they're expecting good things. Oh, speaking of Cyclops, apparently Van Fillinger had 3 to 4 sacks in the scrimmage today. Wow, 3 to 4. Looking like he'll be the alpha edge player this year. That's awesome. And you guys know how it is. We get some good edge rushers, but it would be awesome if we could just get that, elite pass rushing edge rusher, which Van Fillinger could be, especially with 3 to 4 sacks in the scrimmage. Man, I would love to get some of the tape from these scrimmages. If anyone ever has the opportunity to get this tape, send it to me, guys. I would love to make videos for you, just kind of looking over the scrimmage tape. That would be awesome. I'd be more than happy to do it for you guys. Yeah, so if you guys do ever get your hands on it, if you guys are at the scrimmage and they'll let you record it, I'd be more than happy to do that. But on that note, let's keep reading about Cole Bishop here. Oh, and by the way, Cyclops, welcome in. Maybe your first time, maybe your second time. I don't remember. But either way, man, welcome back. Well, welcome into the chat and glad to have you here. And if you guys are just jumping in, make sure you guys like the video, comment down below, join the chat. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We still got a ways to go. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. All right. Last season, Bishop recorded 35 tackles, including 3 sacks, 5 pass deflections, and a fumble recovery. He also blocked the punt against Oregon. Yeah, he did. Man, that Oregon game, huh? What a memory. What a memory. I mean, both of them just spectacular. The first one was special, though, when they came to Rice Eccles and we just we just Will Smith them, right? We just Will Smith Oregon. That was fantastic. I love that game. Now in the spring, he's become one of the leaders of the secondary. Getting to be here for a year really helped me experience-wise. Bishop said, instead of running around and trying to figure out where you're really going the whole time, you know where you're going already and just have to worry about your job more. And I feel like that's so true no matter what you do in life. You have to get good at the basics and then you can just let your talent shine, right? Like I run a sales floor. That's what I do for a living. And it's really true that all you got to do is, get really good at the basics of what you're doing. Is what I train all my reps to do, is like get really good at the basics of what you're doing, and then you can let your talent shine. And that's exactly what Bishop's talking about here, right? Get the playbook down, get the motions down until you feel like you don't have to think twice about it. You know what I mean? You just go with it. You just go with the flow. Your mind already knows what to do. It's all second nature. That's why rookies in the NFL have such a rough time transitioning. And I think that's why you're going to see a guy like Bishop really take a big step. But let's answer some of these questions. ICR, where do people find the tape? The scrimmage tape? That's what I'm saying, ICR. I don't know. I don't know if there is tape or if it's not allowed or what the deal is there, right? So, yeah, if anyone does get the tape, I'd love to have it. Utah fan for life. Who do you think will fill in best for Covey as a return specialist? Honestly, the hype is Ryan Pepins. I saw some pictures of them talking about special teams. They showed him catching some kicks, catching some punts. I mean, you really don't know, but I would say Ryan Pepins would be my guess. I mean, you get such an explosive player. It would feel like a shame to waste him, right? I feel like at least give him a real good opportunity as the returner and see what he can do with it, right? Jay Spider Flash, hey peeps. Jay Spider, good to have you in here, man. I don't know if it's the first time or not. Some of you guys, I remember your names like P. Dot, ICR, and sometimes I just forget. It sounds familiar though, Jay Spider, so don't be offended if I don't remember you. Utah fan. Okay, Cyclops. First time on the stream. I love the work you do. Hey, awesome, man. I love you tuning in. So thanks so much for being here. Let's have some fun. Utah fan for life. One of the most electric games I've ever been to. I believe you're referring to the Oregon game at Rice Eccles. I think that's what you're talking about. Yo, straight up. I mention this all the time. When Covey ran back that punt, against Oregon at Rice Eccles. I was watching at home, but damn, dude, the whole TV was shaking. You could feel it through the TV, like such a moment. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one at home jumping up and down on the couch. I was because we were already up like what was it 21-7, and you felt so good going into halftime, and then you're just like maybe he'll run it back, but you're not thinking it could actually happen. You're just saying there's like a out of the blue shot, and he just runs it back, dude. That was so sick. Oh man, what a time. Yeah, Utah fan for life says, yes, sir. I knew it was over for the Ducks. Yeah, I felt like that was maybe it wasn't a nail in the coffin, but it was like, damn, that's that's getting close. ICR says same. I think you're talking about the Oregon game too. Why are we hearing good stuff about the receivers now? P-Dot, maybe they're listening to the channel and they heard us criticizing the receivers last week. I doubt it. I doubt they're listening to the channel. I would imagine they know about the channel, considering some of the, like really young recruits have been on here and done interviews. So I'd say they probably know about the channel. I don't know if they're pro the channel or they're against it. Who knows, right? But either way, we're going to keep doing it. Why are we hearing good stuff about the receivers? P-Dot, I would say the big reason we're hearing a lot about the receivers is they're doing well. And I think there's one receiver in particular that is doing really well that we'll talk about in a minute. I've got an article that I want to go over, and we'll touch on that here soon. Omar says he thinks most likely Pepins will be the return specialist. Yeah, I think that's a great observation there. That's where I'm at with it too. I mean, who knows, right? Who knows who the return specialist will be? There's a lot of young, talented guys. That Matthew Clark kid, I can't believe he's a freaking preferred walk-on, Matthew Clark, because that tape was energetic, man. That kid, and he's a returner in high school. I think he'll get a crack at it, right? I think Pepins is the favorite. Ramet is, I don't think it's a lock for Pepins at all, but I think he's the favorite. I'd say like 50% chance it's Pepins, and then 50% chance it's someone else, right? So he's the what would it be? Not majority. He's the favorite, and then there's probably 3 or 4 other guys that might get the job. So, but either way, we're going to get a good returner. I mean, if someone can beat out Pepins, I would imagine they're going to be pretty damn good. All right. Where are we at? What was the last comment? Omar. Okay. UT fly fisherman. He reminds me of that Brady Breeze kid from Oregon a few years ago. Y'all remember him? He was a game record. Yeah. Brady, it's a really good example. I forgot about Brady Breeze. I remember, I follow the NFL a lot too, and I do a lot of draft. I'm just a football nerd through and through. So that's why I like PFF so much. That's why I use it so much for when we're talking about the Utes, because I use it so much to follow the draft and stuff like that. Jay Spider Flash, I think I already covered that. Hey peeps, all right. I'd like Pepins if he gets above 165 pounds if he was our returner. Yeah, I think you never know, right? Like we're saying that, right? But the difference between 165 and 170 isn't huge, or 160 and 170. It's significant, but it's not crazy. And I would just say, like, if he's really strong at 165 pounds and really solid at 165 pounds, that's a good weight for him. So I wouldn't judge it off the size. I judge it off how fluid he is, right? Like we were talking about earlier with Cole Bishop, that you have to learn how to use the tools you have and just go naturally. Yep, you talking about the Ducks earlier, like I was saying. Okay, TJ Builder, I was losing my damn mind. Hey, TJ, I don't know if this is your first time in the chat, man. I believe so. Like I said, some of you guys I know for sure it's not your first time, and some I'm not sure. But hey, glad to have you here. Either way, man, welcome in. Jay Spider says, yeah, I'm new, but I'm not sure what the but is. And I say you threw them off with Glover as a returner. Did I say Glover was a returner? I don't know what you're talking about. Keithy is a wide receiver now. Love it. Oh yeah, that's a big one, right? I don't think I got an article on that, but I did see that, right? Keithy's a wide receiver now. That'd be pretty sick, huh? And there's a lot of good tight ends in that room. Whew. So if Keithy's killing it at wide receiver, that's oh man, you got to be excited about what we're looking at. Hellhound, we are looking real good this year. I couldn't agree more, my friend. Jay Spider Flash says Vele is looking good. Vele may or may not be the receiver I'm talking about. That's been killing it at camp, from what I'm hearing. ICR, I think we are going to play in the Rose Bowl against Michigan. If not, go to playoffs. Hey, either one's fine with me, ICR. I'll be happy with either. I get what you're saying, Utah fan for life. Throw off other teams. Use Glover as a returner. Man, imagine trying to, you think you're just going to tackle this little returner, and then you got, spaced out. But, yeah, that'd be, you got these little gunners on the kick return, and then Glover just runs them over. All right, well, on that note, let's stop with that article, and let's move to the next one. All right, so since we were kind of touching on it a little, I'm going to skip to this article. This isn't the order I had them in, but we might as well. All right. Devon Vele. Yeah. Why Utah receivers felt need to make a statement in spring scrimmage. Wide receivers coach Chad Bumpus liked what he saw last Saturday, but still looking for more consistency. Utah wide receiver Devin Vele was frustrated and motivated. Entering last Saturday's scrimmage at Rice-Eccles Stadium, Vele and the wideouts wanted to make a statement, and they did. Coach Whittingham certainly noticed. We do have some really good wide receivers. They just need to step up and make plays, which they did on Saturday. That was maybe the highlight of the entire scrimmage, in my estimation, the way the receivers made plays. That needed to happen, and it was good to see it happen. I couldn't agree more, right? Obviously, I haven't seen the scrimmage, but I agree. If that's what we're seeing at the scrimmage, and these receivers are out there making plays, that's a really good sign for the season, guys. That was the last piece of the puzzle for us. Like, you get these receivers involved, that offense is about to be freaking ridiculous, right? And if you guys are just jumping in, make sure you guys comment in the chat, say hi to everybody, like the video, gets it out to more Utes fans. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, if you love Utes football and you guys enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe, because I am pumping it out, all the time. We're going to keep the content coming. The TJ Builder, what do you think Rising needs to improve on, if anything? Rising is not perfect, right? I think Rising, I guess it's not something I would say he needs to improve on, but because it's hard to improve how far you can throw the football, right? That's something that is a little bit naturally given, right? Like how far you can throw a football. But I would say personally, I think with Rising, I would say just settling down a little. As much as one of his best qualities is that he can scramble out and make plays in the clutch, sometimes you just got to trust the O-line, trust the pocket. And there's a reason he didn't trust the pocket at times last year. It got pretty rough at times last year, but I think he just needs to improve on stepping back there, be willing to just, take a shot to the receivers. I think he could help out the receivers a little more too, just like they could make some more plays. UT Fly Fisherman Dixon has been killing it in camp for sure. Yeah, I don't know if he's like lighting it up, but from what I've heard, he is doing well, right? Definitely a guy that to keep an eye on. Utah fan for life. You have Twitter. I do have Twitter, guys. If you guys aren't already following the Twitter, it's at Utah Utes Ballin. So maybe I'll put it up on the screen here so you guys can see it real quick. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to get there. Okay, here we go. I'll put it on the screen real fast just so you guys can see it. Here we go. All right, yes, this is the Twitter page. Honestly, I'm pretty active on it. Nothing crazy, but this is where I post a lot of content. So we got this video live right now, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, that's the Utah Utes Ballin Twitter page. Make sure you guys give it a follow. Seriously, I love interacting with you guys on Twitter, so that's really fun. But now let's talk. Is there anything else about Vele in here? All right. anyways, Vele's been doing really well from what I'm hearing. He's making a lot of plays. Hellhound, our offense is stacked and is going to be a force. I don't think most teams are ready for it. Yeah, like I said, that receiver was kind of the last piece of the puzzle. But seriously, if receiver is figured out, oh man, like what are you gonna do? Like Kincaid needs a corner. Like you need to put a really good coverage linebacker or a cornerback on Kincaid if you want a chance. I'm talking about Dalton Kincaid, guys, number 86. Because if you don't, he's a receiver in his own right. And so if we have Keithy and we have Bele out at wide receiver making plays, then we've got guys like Kincaid, Logan Kendall, Landon Morris. I mean, damn, think about that, guys. It's a matchup nightmare. And not to mention, if you put that many corners out, let's run the ball. Jalen Glover, Tavion Thomas. I mean, let's go, dude. You got me hyped there, huh? You got me going for a second there, dog. All right, ICR, quicker passes, beat Ohio to it. Not sure what you're referring to. I'm guessing Ohio State. Yeah, I mean we did throw a lot against Ohio. Justin Warnick, does the Utah versus Florida game get SEC national opening week? Hopefully, right? That'd be pretty hype. That'd be something I'd be tuning in for. SEC Nation. You have the Utes as your profile pick. I don't know. You're kind of coming off a little bit like a Florida fan, but I don't think you are. So maybe I'm just reading this wrong. Sorry, not trying to insult you. All right, Larry Pilgrim, late to the show here. Larry, hey, Larry's a day oneer, guys. Larry was around at the beginning of last season when I really first started making these videos, Larry. So you get a hall pass. You're good. Hey, but good to have you here, Larry. Jay Spider Flash, yeah, Dixon, yeah. It sounds like a couple of you guys have commented about Dixon. I've heard good things too, guys. The more the merrier, right? The more the merrier. Keep the talent coming. We want everyone to shine in spring camp, shine before the season starts. Let's make real competitions where it's not just any guy that's decent is going to play receiver. We want 4 or 5 solid receivers, and the guys that win those starting jobs are stars, right? Come on. All right. Utah fan for life. Good luck locking up Keithy too. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, good luck trying to take Keithy. Like, you're gonna need not just a corner, like a good corner. They need to be pretty damn physical too. I mean, Keithy's a big guy. He played tight end. So if you want to go one-on-one with him, we could toss him up some jump balls. And if you don't put a big physical guy on him, how are you going to cover him? And then that leaves the question: how are you going to cover the tight ends? Seriously. Loved Vele last year from Omar. I hope he can really make it happen this year. Yeah, absolutely. You guys, if you were watching last year, just like me, you saw Vele shine. There were times where Vele really stood out and really started to shine, and you gotta love to see it, right? you really gotta love to see it. Hopefully, he takes that next step. Obviously, everything's hypothetical, everything's prediction right now, but hopefully, he does take the next step. ICR responding to a Cam comment a minute ago. Oh, that's about the quicker passes, beat Ohio to it. Yeah. I think you're asking about what could Cam improve on. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah. Justin, not a Florida fan. All right. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad you're not a Florida fan. Where do I expect Utah to open in the polls? You know what, Cyclops? I love the question. You know what? Let's put it up on the screen. Where's Utah ranked to start 2022? All right, guys. Where is Utah ranked to start 2022? That's the question right now. Drop it in the chat, guys. Where is Utah ranked to start 2022? I'm going to be just completely honest, guys. As much as we are a great team, I love the squad we have here, right? I think number 8 would be a fair one, right? As much as we've done a really good job coaching our players up, there's other teams that do a really good job coaching their players up, and just funnel in 4 and 5 stars like it's nobody's business. So I think eight's a fair assessment of where we're at right now. I mean, we did lose to Ohio State last year with a few really good defensive players that we're not going to have this year. While Ohio State did have a couple guys out, right? And that's I'm a homer if there ever was one, but it's how you got to look at it. That if I'm doing the rankings, that's how I weigh that. Oh wait, let's go to this one first. Honestly, the O line will dictate how good this team can be. Can they come together earlier or I think you mean earlier than the fourth game? Yeah, so I agree 100%. Yeah, you can't take 4 games to get it together. I think this year, honestly, I uh, I didn't think Nick Ford was that good. I was surprised that he's being projected to get drafted because and this isn't me hating on Nick Ford. Just so you guys know, I gotta call it as I see it. Right, I'm gonna give us praise when we have praise, and I just felt like there was a few spots on that offensive line that really struggled earlier in the year. And this year, I think we've got a real solid core group plus a few young guys. So, you know, I think it's going to be a good squad. Justin, what time do you think the kickoff will be against the Gators? And are you going? No, I'm not going to Florida. It sounds really awesome, dude, but like I said, I manage a whole department, so it'd be tough to go out there for just one game. But who knows? Maybe we go to the Rose Bowl this year. I'll make it out there. If honestly we go to the playoffs, I might have to make it happen. We go to the playoffs, I might have to be there. That's a once in a decade type of thing. But what time do you think the kickoff will be? My guess is kickoff will actually be a little earlier, which is good for us, right? Florida's got such a big fan base throughout the country, and they're the East Coast team. They'll move it up a little earlier, probably like a 5, 6 o'clock game. So that'd be nice. The TJ Builder, kind of following up on that last question. Prediction for the O line, better than last season? I think when you say, are they better than last season? At the end of last season, that O line was really good, especially run blocking. That O line was killing it. But beginning of last season, that O line was really rough. And I mean, really rough. Like we had like 50 overall grades for the first couple of weeks for a couple of our starters. My thought is this: we're going to be better to start the season this year than we were last year. So that's how I'd put that. So I don't think we'll come out as sloppy as we did last year. Utah fan for life. How do you feel about Diabate? I talked about Diabate in a few of our live streams here. I like the kid, right? He could be a playmaker. He is a really good pass rush grade, but outside of that, has some real concerns. The PFF grades have gone down every year, and the only PFF grade that was actually good was his freshman year. I think there's a reason they keep bringing in more linebackers, guys. I don't think they're happy with what they have yet. And the guys that they do have a lot of faith in and think are good are really young, right? So I think they're going to keep loading it up. I think a lot of people think Diabate is a lock. This is my thought on Diabate. Trust me, if you guys know anything about my channel, I hope he is the best linebacker in college football and absolutely proves me wrong. My guess is this: they're going to want Diabate out there to start the season. He's got a few seasons under his belt. He's a veteran, right? They're going to want him out there. But what's going to happen is that after a few weeks of poor play, they will pull him. I would imagine he's a starter for the first 2 weeks. Then he gets pulled. He gets in rotationally. And that's where I'm at on that. I know that's not what you guys want to hear about Diabate. I know a lot of people are excited, but that's just kind of how I feel. And P. Dodd says, I think it's 15 right now for our ranking. Well, they weren't watching that scrimmage, watching our receivers make all those plays, were they? Omar agrees with me, number 8. Very cool. Very cool. Keithy will be this team's Cooper Kupp. Oh, I like that. Was Cooper Kupp tight end, or you just think really good route runner, well-rounded receiver? I think Larry chimes in here. So I think Rising not getting preseason practice with Baylor last year hurt their connection. I could see it on the field. You know what? That's a good point. But I think more than anything, what you should be excited about is who did Rising go to when he needed that clutch play and he was willing to take a shot and just throw it up for grabs. It was Vele almost every time, guys. Anytime Rising was just like had to take a risk, it was Vele. If Vele can become a little more like consistent every down type of guy, damn, the ceiling's really high for that kid. Like he could be a draft pick. Like but he has to get the basics down and just be a little more consistent with getting open and being a reliable target for Cam Rising. Kai Shorts and Bits says, "Can you say hi to me?" Well, hi Kai. Thanks for joining in, man. I think it's your first time in the chat. Glad to have you. Larry, I live 3.5 hours from Gainesville. We'll be there. Very cool, man. Well, I'm sure we'll see you cheering in the stands. That'll be awesome. How Justin Warnick, how do you feel about the secondary? Feel good about the secondary, honestly. I feel like for a minute there I was feeling down about the secondary, but I don't anymore. I feel really good about the secondary. We got Broughton, we got Clark Phillips the third, we have Cole Bishop over the top. I mean, that free safety spot. Hopefully, someone really steps up and becomes the clear, unanimous starter. But we got a lot of young talent in there, a lot of guys that could step up. So we'll kind of see what happens there. And Clayton Isbell could be that guy. I mean, damn. You guys, man, there's so many good players on this team right now. I'm forgetting about some of them. So Clayton Isbell and Cole Bishop, imagine that duo. Like nobody's getting past the third level. Those guys both hit like a brick wall. That is going to be really cool. Did I tell you guys about the Clayton Isbell thing? If you guys don't know, Clayton Isbell is the safety that transferred to us a couple weeks ago out of something Illinois University. It was like a 1AA FCS type of school. And it was funny, a day or two before he committed to Utah, his dad started following my Twitter page. And I didn't even think anything of it, right? I didn't even know the name or anything like that. But funny enough, like he must have already known that he was committing to Utah, so his dad followed the page. So I think that was pretty funny. And then his dad was like liking all the posts and stuff. So that was really funny. Seems like a great kid, and seems like he has a nice family that cares about him. So that's awesome. But yeah, at secondary, Clayton Isbell, Cole Bishop, Travis Broughton, Clark Phillips the third. I mean, what more could you freaking ask for? In worst case, if Clayton Isbell doesn't work out, Travis Broughton doesn't work out, we got a bunch of young, real good guys we can cycle in and out. So I feel really good about this secondary. All right, Cyclops. Apparently, Braden Daniels is going to be our left tackle. Don't mind that one bit since he's arguably the best OL on the team. Cyclops, I got to check you there, man. Braden Daniels is not arguably the best O-line on the team. I'm just messing with you, but he is the best O-line on the team, not hands down. Last year, his PFF grade was elite, top 10 offensive tackle in all of college football. And that was like a week-by-week thing, dude. He was so damn good. Yeah, I think Braden Daniels is clearly. I'm going to be shocked if Braden Daniels does not go in the first or second round of the NFL draft. And personally, I'm leaning towards the first round. Larry, I would say Utah is 7-9, hoping by end of the year they are top 4. Yeah, so I had them number 8, right? So I'm with you there, Larry. Right at 8. Hopefully by the end of the year they're top 4. And yeah, I think you make a great point there, Larry. If this defense grows up quick, they may be. And hopefully this secondary can, hold it together and mesh really quickly, right? Travis Broughton, Clark Phillips, and Cole Bishop, they've got some time together, right? They kind of know each other already. Hopefully Clayton Isbell can mesh with them, and we'll have a little bit of wiggle room to send 7, to send 6 on plays, right? To get some pressure back there. Let some of that younger front 7 shine just by, overloading the box. So that'd be really cool if we could do that. Justin, we hit a home run. We picked up Clark Phillips. Oh, yeah, no doubt, Justin. I believe Clark Phillips is actually the highest rated recruit in Utah football history. Yeah, he's a beast. Justin, when Landon Barton declare after his first year? I don't believe so. And don't forget, you need to be. I think the rule is you have to be out of high school for 3 years. So I really don't think he's going to declare after his first year. Utah fly fisherman. So unless I missed it, how are you a Utah fan, and what made you decide to do this channel? So yeah, I'm actually from Las Vegas. That's where I grew up, and I moved out here like 6 or 7 years ago. I've always known about Utah football, and then a few years ago, I just kind of fell in love with it. I'm not a lifer like a lot of people, but I really love Utah football, and believe it or not, the reason I decided to make the channel, I know, like I said, I'm not a lifer like a lot of people, but I just this is what I enjoy. Like I said, I'm a Jets fan in the NFL. If you guys don't know, there's a huge base of Jets YouTube channels to just have long form content, and just always there's videos to watch anytime anything happens. I love the Utes too. And so I was just like, there's nobody doing this. Like there there needs to be a channel. And I made this channel, and the rest is history, right? And it's doing pretty well. And I'm enjoying talking Utes football with you guys. I like doing it. So good question, UT. The TJ Builder, what do you think about the new Barton kid at linebacker? So this is where I'm at. I think he could be one of the starters to start the year. He could be one of the starters to start the year, but even if he's not, before the middle of the season, he's going to be in there at minimum at a rotational role. But I see him as a starter. YouTube Fly Fisherman, bro, how about some halftime live streams during the game? Would be sick. So my thought for the upcoming season is that'd be kind of tough. You got to remember, you got to like schedule the live stream, and you got to get everything going, and all that. I personally, my plan is going to be this, so you guys can be prepped for it as the season comes. I'm gonna do the live streams right after the game, so we can hop in here right as the game ends, kind of hop on, chat about the game, who did really well. Like, trust me, it'll be a lot of fun. Kind of like last year, if you guys remember, I would do like a post game breakdown after every game. But this time I think I'm gonna go with the live streams. That'll be the plan, is every week right after the game, we'll jump right into the live stream and just get to chat about it. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So that's where I'm at, Fly Fisherman. But I'm sure you guys will be blowing up the Twitter, blowing up Facebook to, talk about the halftime. Omar Nagar, glad you decided to make this channel one of my top 3 channels. Hey, Omar, will you use the referral link I gave you? And I appreciate you using that. I hope you like the Yada Bank, and I'm glad this is one of your top 3 channels, man. It's I'm glad to be doing it for you guys, and trust me, this is one of my favorite parts of the week. It is a lot of work, and I appreciate all you guys' support. Cyclops, Florida fans on the 24/7 board seem rather confident. Well, Cyclops, Florida fans also probably thought they were going to go to the college football playoff last year, and how'd that work out? So that's what I have to say about that. All right. But outside of that, I know someone was just asking about Lander Barton. Why don't we pull up this next article that talks about the one and only Lander Barton? Let's take a look. All right, Lander Barton. Okay. All right, Lander Barton. Okay. All right, with just 2 weeks left in Utah's spring camp, the program is continuing to get a better understanding of how the team looks, who the key contributors will be, and which of these young guys are beginning to show promise. As one of those young players with a lot of potential and opportunity, freshman linebacker Lander Barton has taken the program by storm and is looking to be a big contributor right from the start. Yeah, I feel like he's become one of those guys that it's become very clear that he will be making an impact. And before we continue reading the article, guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Love having you here. Love making the videos. So, and make sure you guys jump into the chat. There's a lot of people watching the video that aren't in the chat, guys. It's fun. And join the chat. It's a good time. And let's see, questions. ICR, you said that. Sorry, I am not sure what you're referring to. I'm sorry, man. All right, P-Dot, did you have a college team you supported before the Utes? No, I in Vegas it's really just UNLV, and if you guys know about UNLV, they're really terrible. And so I never picked the college team. I'm a Jets fan, and if you guys know anything about the Jets, they are terrible. They're, for the past 10 years, they have twice as long of a playoff drought compared to the next team. So it's like definitely the worst team over the past 10 to 20 years in the NFL. So for me, when I pick a team, I'm all in. So I didn't pick the Utes lightly. I decided the Utes were my team. And it took me a minute. It took me a couple years to really take the plunge. But once I'm in, I'm all in. So I'm not going anywhere. So Utah fan for life. We will just have to whoop them like we did Oregon and make their coach leave too. Yeah. Well, their coach already left. So yeah, they maybe we'll make their new coach leave too. UT Fly Fisherman, 1 shot per TD for the post game live stream. Hey, Utah Fly Fisherman, whatever you want to do. If you want to, do 10 shots after Cam Rising's 10 touchdowns, maybe we'll have you on the stream. You could do them. I wouldn't mind it. I'm sure that you guys wouldn't mind it either. So I'd like to see it. All right. Jay Spider Flash. I don't know how peeps feel about playing these D2 teams, but I hate it. Well, Jay Spider, tell me a little more about why you hate it. I mean, I think you're referring to Southern Utah. You got to remember, one thing is in the beginning of the season, when you add D2 teams to your schedule, it makes it so you're not going to shoot up in the ranks, but it also makes it so imagine, obviously you hope we don't, but imagine we lose to Florida. We have Southern Utah in the next week or so, right? That's a real good setup so you can bounce back because you basically know you're going to beat Southern Utah unless something crazy happens, right? Yeah, just like Utah fan for life said, gotta have some tune-up games. You need, especially early in the year. And I get where you're coming from, Jay Spider. It's not as exciting, right? You kind of know we're gonna win, and you're just hoping we blow them out. Like last year against Weber State, it was funny. I felt like a lot of fans were really hyped about what they saw from the Utes. Personally, I was a little nervous. I was like, yo, that's a FCS team, and we are out here. We won, but they were in that game for a long time. Our offense did not look ready for them. So that's how I kind of felt last year. And I feel like it gives you an opportunity to shake the rust off. So I don't agree, Jay Spider Flash. I don't hate them. I get where you're coming from, but I do not hate them. Larry, I don't know how hostile the swamp will be when I go, but man, I'm stoked. Yeah, Larry will be in the swamp when we play the Gators. Yeah, those Gainesville boys get a little wild, right? So good luck out there, Larry. Make sure you stay safe. But make sure you also take lots of pictures, post them on the Twitter so we can see what's going on there. All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to be it for me tonight. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also Omar actually took advantage of this last week, but I feel like I might as well share it with you guys again. Yada Bank. So they're sponsoring the video, right? Yada Bank, super cool platform that allows you to invest and gain really good interest on your money. So you can invest in crypto and get a little extra interest on top of the interest you're already getting. But the really cool thing, guys, is you can invest in a savings account through Yada, right? It's completely risk-free. It is just a savings account. It's FDIC insured, and it's super cool, guys. 4% APY interest. That's their average interest rate on their savings accounts. The average interest rate in the US is like 0.05. And just so you guys know, I do get a little kickback if you guys sign up for this, but I would not push something on you guys that I did not truthfully believe in. I think it's a great way to, save your money if you're saving up for a car, if you're saving up for if you're saving up for a house, whatever, right? You want to have your money away in a savings account. I'm going to put the code up on the screen here if you guys want to use it. The promo is Utah Utes. No spaces. I'm putting it on the screen here. Yeah, promo is Utah Utes. Download the Yada app. Throw 50 bucks in or whatever, right? If you guys are interested in saving up for something, this is such a cool app and it makes it really fun. Let me see if I could show you guys what I'm talking about. So how it works, you make a deposit, weekly draws, win prizes, and save. For example, every $25 you have in your account, you earn one ticket. Every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 7 p.m. Mountain Time, they drop a ball and you see how close you are to winning the prize. It's super cool, guys. It really makes it fun. And I can tell you, honestly, I actually like every night at 7 p.m. I really do look forward to what the next number is going to be. Again, that's Yada, guys. You can download it in the App Store. Just download it. Use promo code Utah Utes. You get 100 free tickets or free bonus tickets to the drawing. So super cool way to get started. And it helps out the channel a lot. But on that note, guys, I'm going to bounce out of here. Larry says, will do. I don't know what you're referring to. I think I'm a little late on that. But absolutely, man. Good to – I think you're talking about being safe in Gainesville. Utah Fan for Life, great content. Followed you on Twitter, and I'll continue to follow on here also. Go Utes. Absolutely Utah Fan for Life. I'm glad you're there. I post a lot on Twitter, so I'm glad you're following me. If you guys aren't already, guys, at Utah Utes Ballin on Twitter. It's a fun time. ICR out. Thanks. All right, guys. Officially, I'm out. I'm out for real now. Okay. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Go Utes.